Alright, seeing as how brightness boosting is the most important glitch for Harry Potter 2 speedruns, I figured I'd make a kind of expensive tutorial on it, showing the details. Basically what brightness boosting is you can boost out of a ledge grab, like this. And it's incredibly useful. Like here, I used it to get out of bounds very quickly in Willow. And it's used pretty much everywhere in the run. And yeah, the first thing you want to do to be able to do this, efficiently anyways, is you want to go to your game shortcut properties. And then set shortcut key to F1. Or any F key, but F1 is the closest to escape, so it's the most convenient for most people. After you do that, basically when you hit F1, it's going to open the game like that. Like I didn't double click the shortcut there, I just hit F1 and it opened. So once you've done that, we can get into the actual boosting. The way it works is essentially, you go into a climbing animation, go into your menu, switch brightness, and then when you unpause the game, he's going to pop up a certain amount of distance, like this. Like every time I did it there, he popped up a little bit more. That's the very basic version of boosting, like with no specifics. The fastest and easiest way to boost, though, is to do something called loading or double loading the game, which is essentially if you open the game again while the game is running, you'll get this loading screen. Which, if you do it while paused, I'm just hitting F1 for it, which is what we set up earlier. As you can see now, the game is unpaused in the background, but I still have access to my menu. So by the same method earlier, if I go into climb, go to my options menu, hit F1 to load the game so it unpauses. And then every time I click brightness at that point, it's gonna boost me up one, like do one boost basically. Because the game is unpaused, you don't have to unpause for every boost. You just kind of do it continuously. So that's how to boost, but the like specifics that most people don't know, at least not until they get a feel for it, is how each climb affects the boost. In Harry Potter 2, there's 3 ledge grabs. There is the small ledge grab, which is this one, and then there's the medium, which is this one, slightly longer, and then the longest one, which is just this. He like pull himself up like fully. And all of them are useful for different situations, depending on how you want to boost, because they move you differently in the boost. The small ledge grab is going to boost you back a little bit. It's hard to show, but it's going to boost you back a little bit and then forward. So if you need to, like, say I needed to, this was a ledge, and I needed to climb this, and then boost back, and then up here. With any other ledge grab, you couldn't do that, because you'd go forward and get trapped under here. With a small ledge grab, you can go back and then, like, up enough to clear this ledge, basically, or this ceiling. So that's the main reason to use a small one. Either that, or if it's possible to use a small one, you wanna ideally do it because it's fast. It's a faster animation, so it's slightly faster to do it in general. That one is less useful though because it's a very, very short animation, so you can barely boost out of it. The next one is the medium ledge grab. This one is kind of probably the most used one, just because of how it works. It goes, instead of going straight up or straight forward or anything like that, it goes like a little to the right and forward. So if I do a boost with this, you can see I started down there, but I went like diagonal up here, not straight onto the pillar here, but like diagonal. And that's basically because of how he pulls himself in the animation. Like you can see he pulls himself to the right a little bit. So if you want to gain distance instead of height, this is most likely the one you want to use. Assuming going right is either ideal or acceptable anyways. So that's how that one moves. It's also pretty short of an animation, but enough to gain a lot of height and distance with. So it's very convenient to use. For long ledge grabs, it basically goes straight up. A little forward and a little to the right, but very, like, pretty much straight up. Like, I went a little forward there, but that was about it. But you go very high, very fast with it. So if you need to go straight up and you need to go high, that is the one you want to use. Ideally, you'd avoid it, though, because it's a longer animation. Other than the ledge grabs, something to keep in mind is you can... normally you'd pause, hit options, and then load the game, because then you'd be ready to boost immediately. But it is faster to just do that. Like, hit F1 and escape at the same time, like that. If you do that, you will have to rush over to the options and then go in here and boost, which is kind of awkward, but if you get used to it, it's pretty fast. And it's not possible on most, or ideal on most ledge grabs, just because of the time it takes to load in. If you try pausing and then hitting the thing, like right after, this will happen. The pause menu will like pop up and then close again. That means you hit escape and then immediately F1. You need to hit them at the same time. If you hit F1 and then escape, basically you'll just see the load, no menu. If you hit them at the same time, though, they will it'll open up like this. And now I'm in the menu without it being paused. And additionally, you can use this to say I needed to boost off this thing with a small ledge grab, and I came at it like this. Basically what I would do then is jump into it, because then I can pause midair, and the momentum will carry me to the ledge, and I can just insta pause or insta load, and I'll be able to boost immediately, as opposed to having to pause, go to options, and then load, which is slightly slower. The momentum from a jump will carry through even if you stop holding the input forward. So as long as you don't hit back, you won't slow down in the air. So you can just jump and then do the load, and it's gonna work. Also, keep in mind that hitting, like, loading and then hitting the eye, like, it won't go into the next menu until it's done loading. So if you do that, don't be, like, alarmed. It takes a while. That's why you ideally want to hit it before or on the actual pause. It's very awkward to hit it and then go through the eye. Alright, I think that's pretty much everything there is to know about ledge boosting. A little long of a tutorial, but it's a big trick, so I figured it was worth it.